Hi, I'm Becca Walton and this is the nail design that I did for this year's Valentine's competition for the Gelac student category. Okay, I've roughly just squared the nails off. So we're going to start by applying a thin layer of base coat to both of the nails. And cure that in the lamp for 45 seconds. So we're going to apply our base colour, 2 coats of strawberry cupcake all over the nail. And we want to keep the coats fairly thin because over the tip of the nail you're going to end up with quite a few coats of colour, so you don't want it to look too bulky. So 45 seconds in the lamp. Okay, now we're going to start to create the faded effect on the base of the nail. So for that, I don't want to use too dark a pink, so I'm mixing equal quantities of happy pink and strawberry cupcake. So I've just mixed about half and half. And to apply that, I'm going to use a clean gel brush. I think this is an 8F brush that I'm using. And you just want a very small amount on the brush. You don't want to create any deep lines. You want to blend it in as much as possible. I'm going to start from probably about 2/3 of the way up the nail and brush it downwards. And really you should see barely any colour change. And again with the second nail, 2/3 of the way up. It's a thin layer. If you find that you end up with a bit of a line, just clean the paint off the brush and just blend it in a little. And cure that. Okay, so we're going to do the same again, this time from probably about halfway down the nail. And again, cure that in the lamp for 45 seconds. So if you can see, we're starting to get that faded effect. So we're just going to build another few more layers of the colour, each time starting a little bit further down the nail. Make sure you don't have an obvious line each time. Cure again. Right, we're going to just remove the sticky layer before we start working on the design on top. So in my palette, I have a small amount of bubblegum and jet, which are the 2 colours that we're going to use for the pattern. And it's all going to be done with the dotting tool, so the fine end and a medium-sized end. So I'm going to start by creating the nail with the full pattern, and I'll put the black dot in for the flower first, place the flower, and then we can decide where we're going to put the rest of the pattern. So I just want part of a flower, so I'm going to put the dot up in the top corner. With the bubble gum, I'm just going to put some generous dots around the edge, which I can then drag the colour in to create the petals. The fine end of the dotting tool, just put a tiny bit more colour on. Drag that colour in towards the middle, trying to not let it touch the black. Just keep a very small gap. creates the teardrop shaped petals. And then with the fine end of the dotting tool again in the bubble gum, I'm going to create a heart shape at the side here. And I generally start at the kind of peak of the arch for the heart and drag the colour down either side so that your thickest area is at the top of the arch, and the same on the other side. Drag it down going off the nail. Fill space down here with another partial heart. Don't need to be too precise in shape. Each heart is slightly different. And if you've got empty spaces, maybe put another few petals for another flower. Couple up in his top spot. Again, just dragging the shape in with the fine end of the dotting tool. Okay, we're going to do the same with this little finger, but making it more like this design with just one heart and one flower at the base of the nail, forming it in the same way. Placing your dots roughly evenly spaced around the outside to then drag in to make your petals with the fine end of the dotting tool, dragging them into the middle. Remembering that black isn't set, so you don't want to drag it right into it because the colour will spread. And then create a heart shape to balance it on this side. Just find using a dotting tool rather than a brush gives you a little bit more control. Sometimes easier to paint with a steadier hand. Okay, we cure the pink under the lamp. Okay, so using the fine end of the dotting tool into the jet, I'm going to start by going around the inside of the hearts. So again, putting more colour in the arch and dragging that round. Do the same for all the hearts. Keeping the bulk of the colour up in the arch. The heart here as well. And we're going to accent the petals. Now I haven't gone all the way down to the bottom of the petals just to keep it from looking too heavy. So starting at the top and just dragging a bit of colour part way down the sides. Same on this hand. Okay, and then we're just going to put very light lines in the centre of the petals. Just with a light touch going down. Same for the other nail. And then the last step is really just to fill in some of those spaces with some dots and dashes in the black and the jet and the bubblegum. So no real rhyme or reason, just a few dots wherever you think you have space. Same with the bubblegum. And then that's ready to go in the lamp for 45 seconds. Final step is to add a thin layer of top coat to both of the nails. Just make sure you've got a few little lumps and bumps with dotting the polish on, so make sure that you let it really go into all of those. Cap the free edges and then pop it in the lamp for our final cure. We can remove the sticky layer. Then we have the Valentine's design nails.